Yay, now we're live. All right, we're live, so we can get started. Welcome everyone who's joined us for the 2014 annual membership meeting for the Barista Guild of America. I'm Julie Hausch. I'm the chair for the Barista Guild Executive Council this year. And I want to thank you guys for joining in. If you're joining in live, super awesome. If you are watching a replay, also awesome. And we're excited to have you. And just kind of the purpose of the meeting is to just give an annual recap of kind of what we've been doing as the Barista Guild throughout the year, and kind of maybe give a little sneak peek to look ahead to the upcoming year as well, just to keep everyone on the same page. Probably you already follow us on Twitter and things like that, and so you do keep track of what's going on, but it's kind of nice to kind of run through everything with us. Just to recap, the Barista Guild of America, our mission and vision. The aim of the Barista Guild is basically to be the world's most important network for the professional barista, and that kind of underpins everything that we do as the Barista Guild Executive Council. More specifically, or things to kind of dial in what we do day to day, the Barista Guild is aimed to provide baristas a community dedicated to innovating, sharing, and demonstrating best practices in coffee preparation. And so everything we do, kind of, we look to that to sort of determine what we're doing and if we're doing a good job, and also feedback from you guys. Lorenzo Perkins is our vice chair, but I don't think he's been able to join us today. So I do want to just talk really quickly about who the Executive Council is. You should be able to see all their pretty faces at the bottom of your screen right now. They're all muted, but I think they'll all wave, and at some point you will hear from all of them today. So the Executive Council, also pictured on your screen right now too, except instead of Dan Streetman's lovely face, pretend Todd Mackey's face is floating right over there. That was at one of our January meetings. This past January. But the Executive Council is here kind of delays with you guys, to all Barista Guild members, to develop and mentor new BGA leadership, to engage with the global barista community. You might see that there's a Barista Guild in Europe starting up as well, and oversee and engage with BGA committees, events, certificate, and membership. And you can find our contact information and more of our pretty faces on the Barista Guild of America website as well. Specifically, Executive Council, myself, Julie. I am the chair this year. Lorenzo, who most of us probably do know and love as well, who can't join us today. He's our vice chair. He'll be taking over the chair position next year. And our past chair is Trevor Corlett, who is with Madcap Coffee in Washington, D.C. And so we're kind of the executive, and we kind of don't belong to particular committees, but we're always kind of there overseeing things. We do have 3 committees that the Executive Council oversees. We have the Certificate Committee that Miguel Vicuna chairs right now. He's given us a little wave. And Todd Mackey is the vice chair. And they'll be talking a little bit about the certificate program later on in the slideshow. For membership committee, the committee chair this year is Colin Whitcomb. He's kind of backlit right there waving at us. And our vice chair is Alex Littlejohn. And they will also talk about membership very shortly. Last but not least, we have events committee with Chair Leila Gambari, who's joined us, and then Vice Chair Cole McBride, who wasn't able to take to be here today. He's taking a driving test, and so I'm going to call him out about that. So if you do see him, ask him how his driver's license is. So that's us, and I'm actually going to turn it over to Trevor right now to talk a little bit more about how the BGA works with the SCAA.
All right. Thank you, Julie. Nice intro. Well, friends, so I'm going to talk to you first how the EC, how your Executive Council works with the SCA staff. And so real quickly, the EC are your liaisons with the Specialty Coffee Association, and our goal is to bring your wishes and concerns, thoughts, dreams, hopes to both the staff and the SCA board. And then we also collaborate with the staff on the execution of our BGA mission and vision statements. Specifically, we work closely with Monty Choksky, the SCA membership director, and Ellie Hudson, the director of professional development. And we also, Heather Perry is an SCA board member, and she also works on our behalf with the SCA board, just kind of bringing a lot of our mission and vision to the SCA board on a regular basis, an ongoing basis, and serves as a voice for us on the board on an ongoing basis. So that's specifically kind of who we're engaging with and what we're trying to engage with SCA. And as you as members have any questions for the SCA or BGA in general, you can bring those things to us, and we would gladly either bring those questions to the SCA for you or direct you to who could best answer your questions. Specifically, the SCA staff's role in production of events and activities. So I know specifically with things like camp and competition that are big events we do that are really out there, a lot of you may or may not be aware of how those things are put together. And when it comes to those events, the staff does a lot of heavy lifting, especially with competitions. We're there representing you as membership and ensuring that we're there to answer BGA questions, but the staff is making those events happen. They do a crazy amount of work, and it's a real blessing, I think, for us as a Barista Guild EC to really see how hard they work on putting those events together and making them happen. And camps, the staff make camps really easy for us to put on, honestly. So you very rarely see them. They tend to hide and make you guys think we're working magic, but the staff works really hard to make sure the camps go off flawlessly and let us focus on getting you guys the education and pulling off a lot of the fun stuff we do at nights and stuff. So those are our two obvious big events that happen. Carrie Gibson is like our go-to person with camps and organization and finding the perfect locations and all those things. Laura Gallagher and Hugo Newproler are the ones that you guys, I'm sure, have seen if you go to the competitions and see the organization of those that really make those happen. One other person I did want to mention too is Ann Islander. Ann is she's a membership staff member, and she is our representative in terms of membership, and so the membership committee will talk more about how they engage with Ann and things. And so those are the big things that we wanted to point out and just bring to your attention. These are kind of how they work and how we engage the staff and the board. Other resources that you have access to because of your BGA membership. So you actually have access to this awesome library on the Specialty Coffee Association's website. So if you use your login that you get when you register for your BGA membership, you can get cool things like PDFs of the slides from classes, archives of different lectures and things, handouts from different classes. There's a lot of great resources there for you guys to use, both for your own personal professional development and within your companies, if you so choose to. And then just one other plug. We have an upcoming webinar, August 29th, that Julie and Ann Nylander with membership are going to be talking at length with how you can make the most of your Barista Guild membership. So I suggest you be there and find out how to really stretch your BGA membership dollars. If you haven't figured it out already, I think it's pretty easy. But that's all you get from me. I think I'm passing it on to Alex to go in depth on membership stuff for you.
All right. Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm here just to talk about the year in review with membership from the membership committee standpoint. If somebody kind of has a bunch of background noise, if they can mute. A membership at a glance, if you look at this slide, the Barista Guild members are made up of all the professional baristas all over the world, and you can see the percentage pie chart right here with over 25% lives in the southwest, and then we have a pretty even dispersion throughout the rest of the country. So for you guys that know, on our membership committee, we just recently invited 10 new members to our membership committee that are all sparse all over the country. So that we have a little bit more regional representation, so you'll be able to see a little bit more from the membership committee for that. And if you notice that we have had an 11% growth from last year, so that's pretty big for us. We're the largest we've ever been now. We're at 1,278 members. So that's pretty amazing for us. And I think that's really it for this slide, right, Lily? And then membership engagement. We get a lot of questions about how to get involved and how to know when events are going on in your community. And I always want to reference people to our website. Our website doesn't get hit as much as it should for this kind of stuff, and we have all of that there. So if you go under the BGA website, there's also a member-driven event form that you can fill out. It's very easy. You can just cut and paste your Facebook or your event page into it and fill out a small form. And then if you look on the right, you'll see upcoming events is a little snapshot of what that looks like on our community calendar on the Barista Guild of America website. So we will help you promote those events for you as well. And if you haven't received your membership packet, or if you don't have your BGA card, or if you need any of that, please feel free to reach out to membership@scaa.org. Or you can always also email barista@scaa.org or roaster@scaa.org as well if you have questions regarding the different certificate programs. And that being said, if you haven't received your membership packet or your BGA card, your SCAA profile is probably not updated. So please log in and go on the SCAA website, update your profile, and we'll make sure to get that out to you as soon as we can. I think I'm done.
Can we talk about the giveaway?
Oh yeah, we're giving stuff away. Sorry. There's 10 of our members have donated coffee, so we have and different swag and prizes. So, Colin, I don't know if you remember everybody, but I know Square One and Palace and Equator, and there's a lot of people that are
giving Parts, Madcap.
Espresso Parts, Madcap. We're all throwing in a bunch of swag for you guys. And we're going to be giving that away to the first 5 people that hashtag BGA Voice and ask a question on the Twitter feed, which I'm monitoring-ish right now. So those first 5 people, we're going to be sending you guys out some swag and getting in contact with you direct message so that you can send us your address.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, BGA Voice. And you can use that hashtag throughout the year if you really want to ask questions and let us know what you think and how you feel.
Totally. So the question is, what are the first names of the current members of the Barista Guild Executive Council? Just send us a little tweet at Barista Guild and win some awesome swag. Let's see. Let's talk about events. I think we're having some technical difficulties with the events committee, so I'm going to chime in here. For events, we do a number of events. I think most people are aware of them. Primarily, I think, or the one I think we're most proud of is Barista Camp. And in 2013, 2014, since our last annual membership meeting, we had 4 camps. We went to Wisconsin, out to California, got down to Texas, and back up to Wisconsin most recently. And it's pretty awesome if you haven't been. In addition to sort of getting the chance to really work on your BGA certification, or certificate rather, it's also a great opportunity to meet people from all over the country, all over the world as well. And right now, we actually just announced our next photo contest for upcoming camp. Our next camp is in October in Rancho Mirage, so basically outside of Palm Springs. And the current photo contest is Coffee Crush. And so if you sign up and basically enter the contest, take a photo of your coffee crush. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be your favorite brew method, anything like that. You get in the running to basically win a free trip to camp and come hang out, take some educational courses and things like that. And also here's some great symposium discussions. This next camp, we're actually going to be talking about salaries and sort of what to expect in with getting a certificate, or if you don't have a certificate and things like that, which I think is actually one of the questions that was posted to us on Twitter as well. So everyone should come to camp. You should totally enter the photo contest. Next thing happening in events, year in review. So the Barista Guild's always at the SCA events, which was held in Seattle this past year, and will be held again in Seattle in 2015. But if you were at the event, or even if you weren't, the BGA Cafe took place in the activities hall right next to all the competitions and everything else. The photo that you see on your screen is basically the BGA Cafe, where we were able to taste some pretty awesome espresso drinks. In addition, the Barista Guild also held barista certificate classes. A number of the executive council and other awesome BGA members taught and also attended those. The U.S. Coffee Championships took place. We had our first annual U.S. Latte Art competition. We sent, I think, Simeon off to Melbourne to compete in the World Latte Art competition. We also had our very own Executive Council member, Leila Gambari, won the USBC and went and represented us at the World Barista Championship, and Todd Goldsworthy represented us in the Brewers Cup, and I think he's actually also joining us on the webinar today, or he's watching. And then we had Amanda represented us for U.S. Cup Tasters as well. In addition, at SCA, we also did Symposium Coffee Service. So Symposium is an awesome event. Every year you see on Specialty Coffee all those great lectures and topics, but BGA actually provides coffee to all the attendees. And if you're interested, especially if you're a Barista Guild certified barista, you actually have the opportunity to participate in the Symposium Coffee Service. So keep an eye out for that announcement for next year's coffee service as well. And like I said, next year's SCA will be in Seattle once again. So mark your calendars, save the date. The World Barista Championship is actually going to be there as well, so you guys should definitely join us. Last slide and last topic about events, the year in review. We always attend the SCA Leadership Summit. This year that'll be happening in Orange County. And so if you are a Southern California area barista joining us today, keep an eye out because we're hoping to do an Executive Council hangout during the Leadership Summit this year. It's basically when we get together to talk and plan for the year as well. The Barista Guild was also at TED. We provided the coffee service at TED. It was a great opportunity, again, if you're a Barista Guild level 1 certified barista or level 2, they were offered the opportunity to participate in that awesome experience. And I think if you ask anyone who went, it was kind of neat to be up in Vancouver or out over in Whistler to be able to serve coffee and kind of see some of those TED Talks live and in person. We also do regional barista competitions, which I'm sure everyone is chomping at the bit to hear about the next year's competition. And I promise there's an announcement coming in the next week about the next cycle. We do member-driven events, which Alex talked a little bit about. But if you ever have a local event, definitely let us know. We'd love to promote it and hopefully attend. We also do the skill building workshops and certificate classes, which we'll talk about just next, and we participate in Barista Nation. And so there's tons of different ways to get in touch with the Barista Guild or to hang out with Barista Guild, and we love to be representative at different things. So that's events. I'm going to hand it over to Miguel and Todd to talk about our certificate program.
Thank you, Julie. Hi, everyone. Really excited to join you guys. It's been a pretty exciting year for the certificate program and, of course, a lot of work on the plate of the certificate committee. We've got a lot of folks that have been working for a number of years, seeing a lot of fruit coming over time, and also a lot of new blood and a lot of new excitement as we push forward in the program. But I'll let Miguel talk a little bit more about the work we're doing. What has sort of developed over the last year that I wanted to report on was an expansion in the certified lab program through SCA. So we have existing labs and, of course, a number of labs coming online, some that recently have, some that are planning to very soon. And so we're seeing an increase in regional offerings for our skill building workshops and our certificate both class and testing opportunities. So it's been really exciting for me personally to be a part of one of those labs. I'm super excited to see what that wider availability means for our membership and for your opportunities, both to expand your experience within the workshops as students, but also as teachers and as we team up to to make a really a valuable program to all participants, all stakeholders. One aspect that's been very successful as well in the last year that I want to report on is the e-learning classes. You guys have probably, many of you had the experience of taking CP 103 or CB 100 for your level 1 or level 2 certificate from the comfort of your own home, and these classes really have moved to a monthly offering schedule, and they've been really highly attended, really enjoyable to be a part of. I can speak to at least personally, and so we're excited to continue to offer these classes regularly, expand these offerings, and just see a growth in the program. So I'll pass it over to Miguel to talk a little bit more about what we have going on for development in the program, as well as how things have been working with the certificate program at the camp events.
Hey, everybody. So yeah, we've been working really, really hard the last couple of years to develop level 1 certificate coursework to be so polished that anyone that's super new to specialty coffee can really dive into it and have the skills to continue forward as a day-to-day barista or want to expand more in their just kind of personal education. And level 2 is polished up as well, and we're getting more and more people kind of coming in hungry for more education, and not just educators or trainers, but definitely baristas just looking to push themselves further in their day-to-day job. So yeah, and a lot of that stuff does happen at camp, and camp is amazing. You can get a lot of educational coursework at camp, and not only that, it's also a fantastic place for networking amongst peers and whatnot, and the executive council as well, to really kind of find your place in the specialty coffee world and make those connections and possibly move across the country because you're that awesome and you're level 2, level 1, who knows, and those are really great places to kind of connect with leadership, not just amongst the EC, but definitely companies around the world, essentially. And then SCA at the event, we also do some really fantastic classes there. We offer everything for level 1 and level 2, so you can get a lot of education done at Expo. And again, we're bringing those classes to you on the regional level with those SCA certified labs. Yeah, I think that's what I got.
Yay. And we've definitely had some awesome questions come in via the Twitter feed or the Twitter hashtag BGA Voice. And so I think Miguel addressed a couple of those about education, and we're going to endeavor, if not answering them right here, right now, then we will definitely reply to you via Twitter or reach out to you directly. But I want to answer a couple other questions before we sign off, since we kind of rolled through things pretty quickly. So one of the questions we had was someone's interested in volunteering for SCA events, and they want to know when the dates and locations are for regionals. We're finalizing contracts and stuff right now, and so we hopefully we'll be seeing a press release about the dates and locations for all the regional competitions in the next week or so. And we can definitely say, at the very least, since WBC, or the World Barista Championship, is being held at the SCA event in Seattle next year, that the USCC, all the US coffee competitions will be held in advance of that. So kind of plan ahead, know that USBC and all the US competitions won't be held in April, but everything will be held prior to that. Let's see. But you should definitely volunteer, and once those dates are announced, we will open up volunteering opportunities, and we would love to have anyone interested volunteering. That's actually how I got started in the Barista Guild. I just kind of signed up to kind of check things out, and that's how I met most of the lovely people that I know, and where technically the Executive Council is all volunteer driven. We don't get paid to be here at all. One of the other questions that we had was if we had any good ideas on member-driven events that they could host other than throwdowns. That's a super good question, and I have a lot of different ideas, and I think it's also something the membership committee is actively working on. I think throwdowns are totally the first, and EC, you feel free to chime in here on this too. Throwdowns are probably the easiest and most obvious thing, but there's tons of other things you can do. Even if it's just hanging out, talking about coffee. Alex wants to speak to that, so I'm going to let her chime in as well.
Yeah, one of the things that our membership committee is doing right now that's being propelled by Panda from Espresso Parts and Patrick from Palace Coffee and Zoe from Gimme is that they're starting a little subcommittee on the membership committee right now to start putting together some how-tos on how to host other events than just a TNT, and also put a generic like TNT how-to and bracket up there as well, but they're already working on that. And we will be having that posted probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. So please keep an eye out for that and on the Twitter. We're really excited to see these events, and if you guys do them, we'd love your feedback on them. We'd love to post blogs for you. So, I think it's really exciting. It's one of my one of my things.
And one of my favorite things about Twitter is that we're actually getting other Barista Guild members chiming in and answering that question too. If you are in the LA area or ever in the LA area, the Los Angeles TNT, there's an Orange County TNT, Long Beach as well, and I know they do, and San Diego too. They do a lot of fun different events, so feel free to reach out to me if you're in the area and want to try to do some more stuff. We have an additional question that Miguel's going to answer about what's the deal with the IDP, or the Instructor Development Program. They want to know if it's offered at every camp. And so, Miguel.
Yeah, so that's a really awesome question. And for those of you who don't know what the IDP is, Instructor Development Program, it's an awesome program that SEA puts on to teach instructors how to teach you. And the great thing about that is not that you learn how to train or teach, but with that you get so much more. You get access to all the coursework, lesson plans, everything, and you can use that as templates for your business and whatnot. So yeah, IDP is really awesome, and again, it is I believe a really long class, but it's a really awesome class. And as of right now, I don't think it's being offered at every camp, but we definitely do try to host it as much as possible at camps and hopefully at your regional training centers as well. So be on the lookout for some of the for sure. Oh, and we're also going to be hosting it not just at Barista Camp, but for some of you roasters out there that possibly hang out with baristas as well, we'll be doing it at a Roasters Guild retreat next month. So it's going to be awesome.
If you are in the Pacific Northwest, you can also drop in on that. You don't have to be just going to the Roasters Guild camp. And then, let's see. You can always check, the events page on the SCAA.org website. They always have an upcoming event, so you can also check in there. It's kind of neat to see what's happening both around the world and in your backyard in terms of not just the IDP, but all that e-learning and stuff. Oh, you have to. Well, you can't just drop in, but you don't have to go to the whole. We're having a chat too to make sure we answer all your questions. Let's see. Do we have any other questions that are kind of pending? I don't see any others on the hashtag. Although, thanks Renee for asking why we're so cool. I think the answer to that question is really we're as cool as the next barista, and volunteering and getting involved makes everyone cooler. But if we don't have any more questions, don't laugh.
I have a lot to say about what makes people cool, but
you can always text or send Colin an email about the cool question.
Please do.
He has a lot of thoughts. But thank you everyone again for joining us. And like Alex mentioned, feel free to always reach out to us. You can always email us directly. Our email addresses are published on the baristaguildofamerica.net website. You can always tweet at us at Barista Guild. Use the BGA Voice hashtag, and we will get back to you as fast as we can and hopefully answer your questions as thoroughly as possible. And yeah, so we love to hear from you. It's not just a once-a-year thing where we drop in and do an annual membership webinar. It's ongoing, so if you see us as well at events, if you want to hang out with us, we're totally here to represent you to make the barista profession basically just stronger. And I think everyone who's listening and a Barista Guild member kind of feels the same way. So thanks for being a Barista Guild member, and thanks for tuning in, and we will chat with you guys all soon. Bye.